Everybody talks about retiring in Spain, France, or Italy. But what if we told you there was some hidden gems that offered just as much charm for a fraction of the cost?
Today, we're going to dive into 6 European countries that are perfect for retirees. We're going to cover everything from cost of living, visas, taxes, crime rates, climate, how you get a driver's license, all of it. So stay tuned.
Hey guys, welcome back to Europats. I'm Matt, this is my wife Diane.
Today we're going to talk about 6 European countries that are not France, Italy, Spain, or Portugal. And at first we're going to just do a brief description of these countries, and then at the end we have charts that you can compare these 6 countries side by side.
Now first up, let's talk about Greece. Beautiful weather, amazing food, and some of the most affordable coastal towns in Europe.
Greece has a Mediterranean climate, which means it has hot, dry summers and mild, wet winters, especially in the coastal areas like Crete and the Peloponnese.
Now, if you're worried about the visas, Greece actually makes it pretty easy to get. You've got options like the Golden Visa, if you're willing to invest in real estate, or the Financial Independent Person Visa, which requires about $2,000 per month in income.
And the cost of living is surprisingly low too. A couple can live comfortably in Greece on about $1,500 to $2,500 a month, depending on where you settle.
Now healthcare, that's sort of a mixed bag. The public system is available but underfunded. So most retirees opt for private insurance, which can run anywhere between $100 and $250 per month.
And if you're wondering about crime, Greece is generally safe, especially in the smaller towns and the islands. Athens has some petty crimes like pickpocketing, especially around the tourist areas, but violent crime is low.
Next, let's head to Croatia. The Adriatic coastline is stunning and is becoming a hotspot for retirees.
Croatia has a mix of Mediterranean and continental climates. Coastal areas like Split enjoy warm summers and mild winters, while inland areas get colder.
It's also relatively affordable. Rent in places like Zadar or Rijeka is much cheaper than in Dubrovnik or Split. And you can find rentals for around 500 euros to 800 euros a month.
And visas here are pretty straightforward. They offer a digital nomad visa, a temporary residence permit, and you can apply for a permanent residency after 5 years.
Taxes range from 20 to 30%, and Croatia has a tax treaty with the U.S., so you won't get double taxed.
And public health care is decent, but it has long wait times. Private insurance, which costs around $50 to $150 a month, is a good option for better care.
Now, crime rates are pretty low. Petty theft happens in tourist areas, but violent crime is very rare. It's one of the safer European countries to retire in. Now, let's talk about Slovenia. That is an underrated country.
Slovenia has a continental climate with cold winters and warm summers, but the coastal region near the Adriatic has a milder Mediterranean climate.
Slovenia is known for its clean cities, excellent infrastructure, and high quality of life. Ljubljana is a bit pricey, but smaller towns like Maribor are much more affordable.
Residency is possible with a temporary permit, which requires about 1,500 euros in monthly income, and permanent residency is available after 5 years.
Now the tax rate, it's a bit high. They're ranging from 16% to 50%, but there is a tax treaty with the U.S.
And Slovenia has a solid public health care system, but private insurance helps speed up the wait times, and these costs range from $50 to $200 a month.
Now, crime, that is extremely low. Slovenia is one of the safest countries in Europe with minimal violent crimes and very little petty theft. Next up is Malta, one of the sunniest places in Europe.
Malta has a Mediterranean climate with hot, dry summers and mild, wet winters. It rarely gets cold, and sunshine is almost guaranteed year-round.
Malta's residency program are retire friendly. You can apply for the Malta permanent residency program with an investment in property or government bonds. There's also the Malta retirement program, which requires proof of pension income and a minimum tax contribution.
The cost of living in Malta is moderate. Renting a one-bedroom apartment in Valletta can cost around 900 to 1,500 euros a month, but smaller towns like Gozo offer more affordable options.
Now, Malta has a flat tax rate of 15% on foreign income remitted to Malta. There's a tax treaty with the U.S. to avoid double taxation.
The healthcare system in Malta is top-notch. Public healthcare is free for residents, and private healthcare is affordable, usually around $50 to $150 a month.
And crime, very low. Malta is one of the safest countries in Europe, with petty crimes being more or less the biggest concern. Now, let's head to Central Europe and talk about the Czech Republic.
The climate here is continental, so they have cold winters with snow and warm summers with occasional heat waves.
The Czech Republic has an affordable cost of living, especially in smaller cities like Brno or Olomouc. Rent in Prague is pricier, and that takes you around $1,200 just for a one bedroom, but outside the capital, you can find places for half that price.
The visa process requires proof of sufficient income, which is about 1,200 euros a month, and a long-term residence permit. After 5 years, you can apply for a permanent residency.
Now, taxes range from 15 to 23%, and there's also a U.S. tax treaty in place.
And healthcare is excellent. Public healthcare is accessible, but private insurance, which costs about $50 to $200 a month, enables faster service.
Crime is low, but Prague sees some pickpocketing, especially in tourist-heavy areas. Now, last but not least, let's talk about Hungary.
Hungary has a continental climate, cold winters with snow, and hot summers, especially in Budapest.
Hungary is one of the most affordable countries in the EU. Rent in Budapest is around 700 to 1,000 euros per month, but smaller towns like Szeged and Debrecen, is that how you say it? Debrecen are much cheaper.
Hungary offers a residence permit for financially independent individuals requiring proof of sufficient income and local address registration. You can apply for a permanent residency after 5 years.
And the taxes, they're set at a flat 15%. And there is a U.S. tax treaty to avoid double taxation.
Healthcare is a mix of public and private. Public health care is available but has long wait times, so most expats will opt for private insurance at around $50 to $150 a month.
And crime is generally low, but like any capital city, Budapest, they've got some petty theft in the tourist areas.
And like we said in our prior video, there are some countries in the EU that are more expensive than the US, and that just doesn't make sense for us to look into, so we're going to skip those for now. So now we're going to throw in some charts so that you can compare the different countries side by side. I find that it's just a little easier when you can have them all in one place than us just talking about it.
Yeah.
So on this first line, you have Greece. The monthly budget you need to have for Greece is about 1,200 to 1,800 euros a month. Rent for a one-bedroom apartment inside the city center is going to cost you about 600 to 1,000 euros a month. Rent for a one-bedroom outside of the city center is going to cost you around 400 to 700 euros a month. And utilities are going to run you anywhere from 120 to 180 euros a month.
Now, Croatia, their monthly budget would be anywhere from $1,300 to $2,000. If you're going to rent a one-bedroom inside the city center, then you're looking at approximately 700 to 1,200 euros a month. And if you rent just outside the city center, then you're looking at anywhere from 500 to 800 euros a month. And utilities will run you anywhere from 150 to 200 euros a month.
Slovenia, you will need a monthly budget of about 1,500 to 2,500 euros a month. Rent for a one bedroom in the city center is about 800 to 1,500 euros a month. Rent for a one bedroom outside of a city center is anywhere from 600 to 1,000 euros a month. And utilities will run you around 120 to 180 euros a month.
Now Malta, the monthly budget for there is from 2,000 to 3,000 euros a month. One bedroom rent inside the city center will run you 1,000 to 1,800 a month in euros. And rent outside the city center is going to run you anywhere from $700 to $1,200 or euros a month. And your utilities are going to be running 100 to 150 euros a month.
The Czech Republic, you'll need a monthly budget of about 1,500 to 2,500 euros a month. Rent for a one bedroom inside of a city center is anywhere from 800 to 1,300 euros a month. Rent for a one bedroom outside of the city center will run you around 600 to 900 euros a month. And the utilities will run you anywhere from 120 to 200 euros a month.
And in Hungary, your monthly budget is anywhere from 1,200 euros to 1,800 euros. To rent a one bedroom inside the city center area is going to run you anywhere from 600 euros to 1,100 euros a month. Now, if you get just outside the city center, you're looking at 400 euros to 700 euros. And the utilities will run you anywhere from 100 euros to 150 euros.
So as you can see, Greece and Hungary are the most affordable, while Malta is on the pricier side.
But it really depends also on your lifestyle and the city that you choose.
So now let's talk about the cost of housing if you were to purchase a home in one of these countries. In Greece, in the city center, you're looking at about 1,500 to 3,000 euros per square meter. Outside of the city center, you're looking at 800 to 2,000 euros per square meter.
Now in Croatia, you could be looking at 2,500 euros to 4,000 euros per square meter inside the city. And outside, you could be looking at anywhere from 1,500 euros to 3,000 euros per square meter.
In Slovenia, you'll need around 3,000 to 5,000 euros a square meter if you want to live inside of the city center. And outside of the city center, it will cost you anywhere from 2,000 to 3,500 euros per square meter.
Now with Malta, you're looking at 3,500 to 8,000 euros per square meter. That's inside the city. And then outside the city center, you're looking at 2,500 to 4,000 euros per square meter.
In the Czech Republic, to be inside the city center, it will run you about 4,000 to 7,000 euros per square meter. Whereas outside of the city center, it'll cost you about 2,500 to 4,500 euros per square meter.
And Hungary, that ranges from 2,000 to 3,500 per square meter inside the city. And outside the city center, it's running anywhere from 1,200 euros to 2,500 euros.
So you'll see that real estate in the Czech Republic and Malta is pricey, especially in the city center, while Greece and Hungary remain budget friendly.
And when it comes to rent, Malta and Slovenia, they're a little bit on the expensive side, while Hungary and Greece offer some of the best deals for retirees.
And now let's talk about the weather and the climate in these countries. In Greece, you have a Mediterranean climate, and the average temperature in the summer is around 30 degrees Celsius or 86 degrees Fahrenheit. The average winter temperatures are 10 degrees Celsius to 50 degrees Fahrenheit, and they get approximately 80 rainy days a year. Now, please keep in mind that these are averages. They could be lower, they could be higher. These are not specific.
Now, Croatia, their climate type is Mediterranean and continental. Their average summer temperatures is approximately 28 degrees Celsius and 82 degrees Fahrenheit. In the winter time, it is 5 degrees Celsius, which is 41 degrees Fahrenheit. And rainy days per year is approximately 90, give or take.
In Slovenia, they have a continental or alpine climate. In the summer, their average temperatures are around 26 degrees Celsius, which is 79 degrees Fahrenheit. In the winter, their average temperatures are 0 degrees Celsius, which is 32 degrees Fahrenheit. And they get about 120 rainy days a year.
Now for Malta, they have a Mediterranean climate. Their summers are 32 degrees Celsius, which is 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Their winters are 15 degrees Celsius, which comes out to 59 degrees Fahrenheit. And they also have approximately 60 days of rain per year.
In the Czech Republic, they have a continental climate. In the summer, their average temperature is around 25 degrees Celsius, which is about 77 degrees Fahrenheit, which is perfect. Their average winter temperature is about -2 degrees Celsius, which is about 28 degrees Fahrenheit. And they usually get around 110 rainy days a year.
Which, that's what it was this morning, 28 degrees. Now in Hungary, they have a continental climate, and their summer temperatures are 27 degrees Celsius, which is 81 degrees Fahrenheit. And their winters are -1 degrees Celsius, comes out to 30 degrees Fahrenheit. And they have approximately 90 days, give or take, of rainy days per year.
So if you love hot summers and mild winters, Malta and Greece are great. But if you prefer a real winter, Slovenia and the Czech Republic might be your best bet.
And Slovenia, it has more rain because of its alpine influence, while Malta has the driest climate overall.
So now let's talk about the retirement visa process. You'll see that all of these countries do have retirement visas available, and all of them have a residency requirement of over 183 days in the country per year.
Now, for the minimum income requirements for each of the countries, Greece is showing at 2,000 euros a month. Croatia is showing 2,500 euros a month. Slovenia is 2,500 plus euros a month. Malta is 50,000 a year in euros, or you're having to buy some property. In the Czech Republic, it's 2,500 plus euros a month, and in Hungary, it's 1,500 euros a month. Hungary has the lowest income requirements, while Malta requires either high income or property ownership.
So now let's talk about healthcare and crime. So for the healthcare, these figures are anywhere from 1 to 100, the higher the better. Greece has a healthcare quality score of 70, Croatia is 75, Slovenia is 80, Malta is 85, the Czech Republic is 90, and Hungary is 65.
Now for the crime index, the lower the number, the safer the place. And Greece is showing 45 on the crime index, Croatia is 30, Slovenia is 25, Malta is 20, Czech Republic is 25, and Hungary is 35.
So you can see that Slovenia, Malta, and the Czech Republic have top-tier healthcare, while Hungary's system is improving, but it still needs work.
And crime-wise, Slovenia and Malta are the safest choices.
So we had a viewer that wanted us to talk about the geopolitical concerns of the countries. So here you go. All of these countries are members of the EU. All of these countries are also NATO members. So let's talk about the political stability. These are rated from 1 to 10. Greece is a 6.5. Croatia is a 7. Slovenia is 8. Malta is 8.5. The Czech Republic is 7.5. and Hungary is 5.5.
Now the economic stability, Greece is showing as moderate. The Croatia is showing stable. Slovenia, Malta, and Czech Republic are showing as strong, and Hungary is moderate.
Now the current issues for these countries are, for Greece, they are looking at high debt and an economic recovery. Croatia, they have border tensions with Bosnia. Slovenia, they have low political tensions. Malta, they have corruption concerns. The Czech Republic, they are energy dependent on imports. And in Hungary, they have some democratic backsliding going on. So you can see that most of these countries are politically stable, but Hungary has seen some democratic concerns, and Greece, it still faces some economic struggles.
And for safety, all are EU and NATO members, so there's a level of security there. But Malta, Slovenia, and the Czech Republic tend to be the most stable overall.
And so let's talk about the best cities for retirees. In Greece, you're looking at Chania, Nafplio, and Corfu. We're going to butcher all of these names. I'm sorry.
Now in Croatia, you have Split, Rovinja, and Dubrovnik.
In Slovenia, you have Ljubljana, Maribor, and Piran.
In Malta, you have Valletta, Srema, and Gozo.
In the Czech Republic, you've got Prague, Brno, and Karlovy Vary.
And in Hungary, you have Budapest, you have Pécs, and Szeged.
This next section we're going to talk about is the driver's license exchange and the ease in which you can exchange your driver's license. And these are a score from 1 to 10. The higher means it is an easier process. In Greece, they have a score of 8. Croatia is a 7. Slovenia is a 6. Malta is a 9. The Czech Republic is a 7. And Hungary is an 8.
Now Malta has the easiest license exchange process for expats / immigrants. And Slovenia has more bureaucratic requirements compared to the other countries. Now that's our comparison. So which of these countries is calling your name?
Yeah, let us know in the comments which of these countries appeal to you guys. We've had a lot of comments and a bunch of suggestions from many viewers. So hopefully this will, a lot of them said, check out Hungary. We had so many Hungaries.
We had a lot of Hungaries, we had a lot of Portugals, we had a lot of Croatia, and then we had some comments that weren't even in the EU. But I specified to them that, you know, we're staying right inside the EU.
For now, that's where we're focused on. So, but out of these countries, the one that calls to me the most is the Czech Republic. With the weather and everything else, they're a little pricier, but it's still beautiful. All of these countries are so pretty. One
place I sort of liked a little bit, looking at some of the videos, was Croatia. I mean, beautiful.
But expensive.
I mean, you know, I'm not saying we couldn't do it. I mean, we'd have the money, but we're trying to look at the long term and the affordability overall whenever you have a fixed income.
Yeah, a lot of people, again, keep saying that we want to go to these countries broke and live off the government, and that is not the case whatsoever. We have money. We would just prefer that it lasts a lot longer.
Now, like she said, you know, we have money. We're not going to be going over there broke. We are not going over there trying to be bums, like some people said. You know, we're going to go over there. We're going to try to contribute what we can to wherever it is we're going to be living. We want to be able to learn their culture. We want to be able to learn their language. And, you know, if it comes down to it, you know, we want to be able to learn everything when we go out there. Right now, we're just beginning our search. And a lot of people, and also we live here in Texas in the United States. So for the people that keep telling us to just come home, we're not over there right now. We're back here in the U.S.
We are home.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're just beginning to research these places. And again, we do not know everything, and we did not include everything. There are things that we haven't talked about. We really prefer not to get political on this channel. We're not going to get political on this channel. So just keep that in mind, you know, in your comments. If we see a bunch of political comments, odds are we're going to take those out or block you depending on how hateful you are. So we're not going to get political.
You know, we do have a couple of friends that might be living out there in that area, and we're hoping that they might be able to help us on our information needed.
Yeah, I'm trying to get some boots on the ground over there since we can't be there right now. But we are just starting. We are just learning. We in no way know everything. So that's why we're doing the research, because we don't know it. And so hopefully we are able to help others who might be in this same situation, that they don't know where to look for the information. So that's why we're doing it, is to help. So,
but do remember, keep the comments coming.
Please be nice. But don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you can be informed of when our next video will come out, which is going to be next Friday at 3 p.m. Central. And we will see you guys next week. Bye.